Welcome to a video from the Real Tough City server. This is Columbia Downs. And of course, I'm sure the one thing you'd like to see, since horses came out, is a ride on the track. So that'll be the first thing we're going to do. We are looking at the starting gate right now. This track was designed for pigs, so there is a slight flaw with the way it's designed and where everything around it already pre-existed, so we'll get in that later. And there's the horse stable. So right now what I'm going to do is stop the video. I'm going to put myself in the whole shot, and then we're going to take off. Good, there we go. The server's been giving me a hard time. I had to do a reset. Seems to be running a lot better now. Till now. I want to show you this track. It is a half-mile oval. The infield will be decorated a little bit, but right now I just wanted to finish the thing. So here we are in the backstretch, and yes, that sign on the right, if you've been around for a while and know Real Tough all that well, you'll get the joke. Into the home stretch we go, almost. There's the horse stable, there's the starting gate. And down the final stretch we come. There we have it. That's an official lap on this track, and the very first official circuit of this track ever run. Alright, now it's time for the 50-cent tour. Okay, so that was the race, and right at the gate we got the horse stable, capacity of 6. Here's the starting gate, just like a real one. Doors are open, you slide your horse in, you try to keep yourself in the center. If you're not almost perfectly centered, you'll catch yourselves on the sides, just like the real thing. And as I was mentioning, this track was actually designed for pig racing. This whole thing was designed and laid out prior to horses. It wasn't finished then, but then horses came to be, and well, horses are more than 1 block wide, so the starting gates have to be 2 wide. And we can't really accommodate too much more that way because there's real estate on the other side of the wall. So in order to fit 6 like the pig racing track was intended, the whole shot is the 3rd gate. 2nd and 1st, if we step over here, is actually in the far turn. It's a little bit of a compromise to get the full 6-horse field to race in here, but if I fly over, you can see that it would ultimately wind up in someone else's property. No good. So this is the stables, and if you want to bring your horse in from the outside, we're kind of going a little backwards here. We got a little horse tunnel that goes under the hill that I just went flying over, and you bring your horse in through these doors. And now starts the tour of Columbia Downs. And that's the door you bring your horse through. There is horse tunnel to stables. But before you go to stables, well, that's assuming that, I mean, it's just more for show than for actual use, is you have a 2-stall pen for a veterinary check. It's just for little added realism. It's not, obviously, it's Minecraft. Horses don't get sick. And we got parking spaces. 7 spots. 6 for the horse owners and 1 for the doctor. And I just realized I never quite finished this. I built the rooms, but I didn't furnish it yet. This would be the clubhouse for the jockeys. And in here, there should be furniture and some paintings. I just never got to it. I just completely forgot about it till I started these videos. And by these videos, I meant segments. Anyway, this is the Columbia Hotel, which is actually modeled after an actual building called the Columbia Hotel in Leominster, Mass. And here's Columbia Downs coming down the street. Now this is kind of borrowing a little bit from Churchill Downs, not any way, shape, and form in terms of architecture. For example, this is supposed to be the quote-unquote original building. And in history's time, the start-finish line would be in the center of this building, similar to Churchill. Then at some point, this building was added. That became the main building. The start-finish line moved over there. So that's how Churchill Downs was done. And over there is the Millionaires Billionaires Club. We'll also show you that too. Here's the old building. Let's go take a look at it. It's small because, well, back in the supposed olden days, this was not a huge track. And here's the building pretty much. Simple architecture. Sports bar and restaurant, we will show you that. And over here we got betting windows, more betting windows, and a stairwell to the second level, which only brings you to the upper levels for the grandstands. More betting windows, and to bring it into the 21st century, here's a Wi-Fi hotspot, and oh, we cannot have rain in our video. So there goes the rain. So all this does is it just brings you up to the second level, in which right now I gotta crud. Where is it? There it is. Also forgot to light up some of this as well, but it's pretty much all this does is it brings you up to the upper level of these bleacher seats here. And like I said, in the olden days, supposedly the start-finish line was over there. And of course, as I was trying to mention, I know I can't really talk and ride horses at the same time. I've proven that to myself many a times. If you're a fan of Real Tough, which is what the name of this map is, Real Tough City, you would get that joke over there. Otherwise, you're probably just scratching your head over it. So, the only way in and out is actually through these doors on the upper level, and this was supposed to have been a stairwell at one time. They still have the landing, but you know, when it's supposed to look like when the Millionaires Billionaires Club was added onto, the stairway was in the way, so they got ripped out. That's why you still have the railing there and fencing along there, and you still got the landing. So there's nothing really special about this building. It was just to serve its main purpose. Then this has been cut out so you can access what is now the quote-unquote new main building. And here's the Millionaires Billionaires Club. Thing is, I'm only a thousandaire at best, so I'm not supposed to be up there. Hey, you know what? I don't hear anyone. You think we could sneak up and take a look at the club? We'll take the stairs. That way we don't make any noise. Shh, be quiet. We don't want to get caught up here. We definitely don't belong. Oh, we're gonna make noise anyway. Oh, don't hear anything. Good, we're alone. So this is the Millionaires Billionaires Club. And as you can see, it's nice and fancy. Ladder elevator there. Fancy artwork. They got their own little bar. And of course I use Potion of Weakness in place of alcohol, because pretty much Minecraft version of booze, pretty much. And some fancy tables, fancy eats. Food's cooked elsewhere, I'll show you. And brought up. Some fancy tables, could take the ladder elevator. You know, let's get out of here before we're caught. They find out we're nowhere near millionaires. Well, at least I'm not. Could get into some trouble. There, I'll throw a torch in, because, like I said, I thought I'd get 100% of this done. Okay, there's the Millionaires Billionaires Club. I hope they don't mind. Sports bar and restaurant. Here's the new main building, and before we tour it, I'll give you a chance to check out the street. Here's the street. And you notice on the right-hand side, we got a little walkway with some park benches. Just sit down and enjoy yourself and take a look at the building and the very beautiful entry. Well, it depends on your school of thought. You might think it's butt ugly, but got fountains, all that nice pretty stuff. Water. So here's the main building, and you got betting windows yet again. There's 2 sets of betting windows, and along the back wall there's doors to the lower bleachers. There's sports and bar restaurants, we'll show you that in a moment. More windows, and of course you can't have a horse track without some humor. Horse Meat Heaven. It's the name of this restaurant. And if we go into the kitchen, there's your quote-unquote horse meat. Yeah, kind of a demented joke, but hey. So that's that. Also notice we got some ladder elevators here, but you see, exit only, please use central lifts. Yes, I said lifts instead of elevators because there ain't enough room for text to do that. Because these go right into the actual establishments that I'm going to show you in a moment. I want to show you that these doors pretty much just go out into the lower stands. And I noticed that I forgot something, and we're going to fix that here on camera. I totally forgot, boom, 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 to put that there, and I totally forgot to make a patio out here, but you know what? Not caring too much right now. The actual building is pretty much done. That's more decoration than anything, because like I said, the infield is awful plain looking. We got to decorate that as well. The important thing is the building itself. Of course, here's where you do your business in terms of handling bets and what have not. And since it's the world of Minecraft, there are no stairs in this building the way everything upstairs is configured, only ladder elevators. So we'll go up to the 2nd level, and here we are. This is the main level right here. Show you the 2 establishments. Here's the press box. Overlit. Basically, it's just 3 announcing tables, and if you sit up here, I know it's not 100% functional, but if you go over here, you get a nice view of the start-finish line. And I forgot to show you the winner's circle. We'll do that. No worries. That'll be the last thing. We're almost done touring this place anyway. So here we go. We have the Blocky Horse Sports Bar. And of course, our tribute to Alf with the very grossly over-exaggerated prices. Alf sneaking in at the drive-in. You'll know if you've seen that episode of Alf. And here we go. We got pretty much a sports bar and of course some booths because it's a larger bar, so we got that. Singles and two-seaters, and this is the one-way ladder elevator. And also the doors to the upper bleachers, which have the really nice view. And it's kind of obstructed here because that what you call Millionaires Billionaires Club building is supposed to be an addition. As if you looked at the way when we were in the other building, how some of the windows were blocked off and looked kind of weird. That's where the old and new kind of meet. And again, potion of weakness that somewhat simulate alcohol. And then we have the Winner's Circle restaurant. It's voted 5 blocks. That means it's good. Of course, please wait to be seated. And we got our booth system here. And again, private ladder elevator there. More seating. And we got our own, we have our own kitchen where also serves the Millionaires Billionaires Club. Got the sinks, countertops, stoves, completely filled with coal blocks, and food. Of course, you notice I don't have 64 in each cell. That's because I don't have that kind of time. So that's the tour of this restaurant. And one of the things I didn't show you clearly is do not enter, but we're giving the tour, so it doesn't really matter. And there's the press box up there. Like I said, because that Billionaires Club is supposed to be an addition, it's kind of an afterthought. And these are the doors that we normally enter and exit. So one last thing to show you is the Winner's Circle. And we'll do that through here because we're pretty much right there. Alrighty, here we are. And one of the things I need to get rid of is this and that. These torches are supposed to represent different various access points to the infield or to the outfield. That's the same thing. Anyway, here's the Winner's Circle. And the start-finish line right here. So you can see the track is big enough. It's a half-mile oval, as I said. It's big enough that you don't see the other end. This is being rendered in, let me show you. It's being rendered at far distance. So it's quite a large track. If you made it a full-blown 1-mile horse track, you wouldn't see most of it. Here's the Winner's Circle. You might notice this piston over here. What's that for? Well, if you hit this, it allows horses to easily get in here and go up to the Winner's Circle. Now granted, horses can jump over fences, but why do that when you have an easier way to get in? And yes, I have tested this with a horse, and a horse can fit through this. And of course, if we shut it off, no access whatsoever. And then you go up here, winning jockey and the horse would be here, announcer would be here, asking how did you win and how much doping did you do to make sure your horse made it across first, all that wonderful stuff. And just to somewhat be like some of the other racetracks like Churchill Downs. They have this building pretty much as a backdrop. There's nothing really special about it. It's just a tiny building. Probably could consider it storage. So that's it. And I'll tell you that this was a major pain in the butt to do, because more than half of this track were covered with large hills, and in this case over here, doesn't really look it, a huge mountain. And on top of that, making these corners was, to be blunt, a major pain in the ass. I used a circle calculator on, I Google searched for it, I don't know the name of it offhand, entered the coordinates, and it told me how to lay out the circle. So no Minecraft edit, completely done by hand. And there is a slight error where it's like 1.5 blocks too small, the radius. So the meeting point in the center is slightly elongated, although on this side I elongated that piece and that piece just to make it a little more round. So it's not a perfect oval. There is just a mere 3-block flat spot, and that's all there is to it. This is my video of Columbia Downs Horse Track. So what do you think of it? And this is on the Real Tough City server. If you are interested in joining this server, please go to facebook.com/realtough, ReolTough, and leave a request. Leave your YouTube screen name, because I'm going to need to see videos of what you've done. And if you are somebody who is very nice to other people here, then getting in will be very easy for you. I am strict on who I let in and not, because there are certain groups out there that hate Real Tough so much. They want to literally destroy the server. So I gotta be really careful who I let on, and I gotta check your background and all that wonderful stuff. Actually, there was one more thing I didn't show you. So since I'm talking and coming over here reminded me. Over here's the starting gate. If it's best to have another person, but if the lag is cooperative, you can, and you have a fast enough horse, you can squeak yourself into that gate like I did for this video just before the doors open. There is a 10-second delay open, and you hit the switch, it goes to a redstone circuit, and when the 10 seconds are up, you'll see the doors open. You might have also heard that tone. That tone has a purpose. It might seem kind of dumb, but like I've said and like you have also seen, is that this track is so large you can't see. If I fly for a moment, you literally cannot see the other end of the track. So if you're actually spectating and you're in the big building at the start-finish line, we need to drop. You won't be able to see the start. So what you do, so what the purpose is if you're far enough away from the start-finish line, you can't see the gates opening. And that tone resonates all the way up to almost this pole here. It goes right about, I think it ends somewhere in here. So even though you can't see the starting gate, when you hear that tone, you know they're off and running, and within a split second you should start seeing horses. Like I said, it was originally designed to be a pig track. Pig, 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 and pig. Pretty much in the same starting spot where that gate is now. But as you can see, because horses need a two block starting gate. That right around here is where hole position 1 starts, which is a little too far infield, but like I said, due to limits, that's the way pretty much had to set it up. So I've bored you enough. This is a video of the Columbia Downs horse track, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little long, but I never do short videos because you tend to lose out on certain details when you do. And we'll just end with a pan. There's the new main building, the addition that went between the old and the new, well, old and the older new, and that Millionaires Club's supposed to be the newest of them all. So that is everything I got to show you. Now I'm done. Georgia551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.